The US is now locked in a full-scale war with Iran, Operation Epic Fury, and the stakes couldn't be higher. President Trump ordered massive airstrikes that took out Iran's supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, crippled their navy, air defenses, and missile programs, and put the regime on the ropes in under 2 weeks. This isn't some endless quagmire. It's a decisive America-first move to smash a terrorist regime that's been building nukes, funding proxies like Hezbollah and the Houthis, and threatening our allies and our homeland for decades. But here's the shocking truth hitting right now. The fake news media and leftist pollsters are screaming that Americans hate this war. Polls from Quinnipiac, PBS, NPR, Marist, Reuters, CNN, and others claim majority opposition. 53% against in Quinnipiac, 56% in NPR, Marist, with support hovering around 36 to 40%. They point to snap polls right after the February 28th launch, showing initial backing as low as 27 to 41%, way below past conflicts like post-9/11 Afghanistan at 92%, or even Iraq at 76%. The narrative? Trump betrayed his "no more endless wars" promise. Gas prices are spiking, and we're bleeding for Israel. Don't buy the spin. These polls are oversampling Democrats and independents who hate anything Trump does, while real Republican support is rock solid. 85% back the military action in Quinnipiac, with only 11% opposed. Fox News polls show a sharper partisan divide, but MAGA knows the score. Iran posed a real, growing threat. Trump warned for years that Tehran was racing toward nuclear breakout, enriching uranium to near weapons grade and developing missiles that could reach us. When nuclear talks collapsed, after Iran rejected offers for civilian fuel and kept threatening escalation, Trump acted to prevent a far worse nightmare, a nuclear-armed mullah regime sponsoring terror across the globe. This isn't reckless escalation, it's finally ending the Iranian threat that weak administrations ignored. Trump campaigned on peace through strength, and he's delivering. US and Israeli forces have achieved near total control of Iranian airspace, sunk their navy, destroyed mine layers in the Strait of Hormuz to keep oil flowing, and wiped out top leadership, including Khamenei and dozens of generals, in precision strikes. CENTCOM reports we're ahead of schedule, dismantling the regime's capabilities without boots on the ground in a massive invasion. Trump himself said the war could end soon because there's practically nothing left to target. And Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth emphasized this won't be endless. We're giving maximum options while protecting American lives. The human cost is real and tragic. 7 confirmed US service members dead so far, mostly from Iranian retaliatory drone and missile strikes on bases in Kuwait, Bahrain, and elsewhere. Reuters sources put wounded at up to 150 in the first 10 days, with the Pentagon confirming around 140, most minor and many back on duty. Every loss hurts. Families are grieving, and we honor those heroes who paid the ultimate price defending us. But compare that to the alternative, doing nothing while Iran arms up, hits our ships, attacks our bases through proxies, and gets closer to nukes that could kill millions. Past underreporting happened under weak leadership. This administration is transparent about the fight. If you're fired up seeing President Trump absolutely crush Iran's terror regime with straight-up America-first strength, no dragged-out endless wars, just decisive results that deliver, go ahead and smash that like button if you're fully behind these game-changing strikes. While you're at it, hit subscribe and turn on those notifications by clicking the bell icon next to it. That way, you never miss the next red pill truth bomb. Real-time updates as victory solidifies, gas prices start dropping hard once the strait reopens, and every piece of leftist media spin gets completely debunked. And don't stop there. Share this video right now with every patriot in your circle. The fake news machine is desperate to bury the truth. So let's get these facts out wide before they can twist or silence them. You're an integral part of the real fight for America first. Stay subscribed, stay notified, and stay winning. There's a lot more fire coming your way. God bless, and let's keep the pressure on. On Israel, the left screams we're fighting their war, but that's backward. Israel faces existential threats from Iran's proxies daily. Rockets from Hezbollah, drones from Yemen. The joint strikes decapitated the regime funding that terror. Israeli polls show overwhelming domestic support, 82% approving the operation, because they live under the shadow of Tehran's threats. American support for Israel remains strong among conservatives, who see it as our key ally against radical Islamism. The billions in aid? It's strategic investment in a partner that shares intelligence, tech, and fights the same enemies we do. Not capture by a lobby, but smart foreign policy. Trump's messaging is clear and consistent. Unconditional demands for surrender, regime elements wiped out to enable a better future for Iranians tired of tyranny, and no endless occupation. He flipped the script on decades of failed appeasement, Obama's disastrous deal, Biden's weakness, and now the mullahs are crumbling. Exiled Iranians and regime opponents are calling this a justified act of self-defense against an aggressively patient threat waiting to pounce. By the end of this video, you'll see the real story. How Trump is crushing a rogue regime that's plagued America for 40+ years. Why the polls are skewed leftist noise. How casualties are tragic but necessary to prevent far worse. And why this bold move protects our troops, our economy, and our future from nuclear blackmail. The anti-war crowd crosses lines. Some independents waver, but core conservatives get it. Better to fight now on our terms than later on theirs. Resistance to the regime is building inside Iran, and America's leading the charge for freedom. Stay tuned. This isn't over, but victory is in sight. The economic pain from Operation Epic Fury is real and hitting hard. Gas prices surging, families feeling the squeeze at the pump. But this isn't the endless quagmire the left wants you to believe. It's the short-term cost of finally crushing a regime that's terrorized the world for decades, threatened nuclear blackmail, and choked global energy routes. President Trump and our military are dismantling Iran's capabilities fast, and the payoff will be massive. Secure oil flows, no more Iranian proxies attacking our ships or bases, and an end to the mullahs' stranglehold on energy markets that weak administrations let fester. Look at the numbers right now. Brent crude has spiked to around $98 to $99 per barrel as of March 12, 2026, with wild swings but a clear upward trend since the strikes began on February 28th. US gas prices have jumped from about $2.98 a gallon pre-war to $3.45 to $3.58 nationally, with diesel seeing even steeper hikes. The Strait of Hormuz, where 20% of global oil passes, has seen traffic nearly grind to a halt after Iran declared it closed and laid mines, forcing US forces to destroy 16 Iranian mine-laying vessels in precision strikes. Shipping insurers are on high alert, and some tankers are rerouting or waiting it out. This disruption is real. Iran's threats to burn any ship trying to pass have scared off commerce, spiking prices and risking stagflation if it drags on. But here's the key from a right-wing view. Trump isn't letting this stand. He's already signalled the war is very complete, pretty much, with objectives largely achieved. Khamenei gone, nuclear sites hammered, missile programs raised, Navy sunk. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth called Tuesday the most intense day of strikes yet, but emphasized this isn't endless. Maximum options, no boots on the ground quagmire, and Trump himself threatened to hit Iran 20 times harder if they fully choke Hormuz. CENTCOM footage shows us clearing mines and keeping the strait viable. The administration is even prepping to tap the Strategic Petroleum Reserve to blunt the spike and protect American drivers. This is America First energy dominance in action. We break the regime that's weaponized oil against us, then restore flows on our terms. The left screams profiteering, pointing to retired General Jack Keane, saying we can handle several weeks of higher oil prices to take Iran off the map. They call it arrogance from defense insiders, but Keane's point stands. Short-term pain to eliminate a long-term existential threat beats letting Iran go nuclear and dictate global prices forever. Past wars dragged because of weak rules of engagement. Trump is going all in to win quick and decisively. Costs are high, $1 to $2 billion daily in ops, but that's the price of preventing trillions in future damage from a nuclear Iran sponsoring terror. Even some conservatives are voicing concerns. Senator Rand Paul hit Fox Business hard, saying the administration's arguments for regime change and freeing Iranians haven't been very convincing, warning war should be last resort, not first, and that once fighting starts, debating war powers gets tough. Fair point. Paul's been consistent on no endless wars, but the facts on the ground show this isn't endless. Iran's responses are weakening, their proxies battered, and Trump is signaling an exit ramp soon. Paul's skepticism highlights why we need congressional oversight, but it doesn't change that Iran posed a real, imminent nuclear and missile threat after talks collapsed. Then there's Lindsey Graham, cheerleading loud, saying on Fox, "We're going to make a ton of money post-regime change with a new Middle East," pushing allies like Saudi Arabia to join or face consequences, even threatening Spain over base access. Graham's hawkish as ever, funded by pro-Israel and defense groups, but his over-the-top rhetoric drew fire from our side. Megyn Kelly ripped him. When did Lindsey Graham become our president? calling out his threats to Lebanon, Cuba, Saudis, and Spain in 24 hours, accusing him of insatiable bloodlust and endangering Trump's gains. Representative Paulina Luna echoed, "If Graham wants war, let him volunteer first." These are real conservative voices pushing back. Graham's neocon style risks alienating the base that elected Trump to end forever wars, not expand them. This exposes GOP fractures. Some, like Graham, want endless intervention. Others, like Paul, demand restraint. But core MAGA gets it. This strike prevents worse economic hits from Iranian nukes or proxies. Tax cuts from 2025 helped working families. Higher gas erodes that, but Trump's quick victory plan protects them long term. No more bleeding treasure for appeasement. The backlash against Lindsey Graham's over-the-top war cheerleading is heating up. And from a right-wing perspective, it's a much-needed reality check for the neocon wing that's been dragging the GOP into endless foreign entanglements for decades. This pushback matters because it protects Trump's America First mandate. Trump ran, and won, on ending endless wars, not expanding them into regime change fantasies across the map. Graham's rhetoric risks alienating the base that wants decisive action against real threats like Iran's nuclear program and terror funding, but without turning it into another Iraq-style mess. The strikes under Operation Epic Fury have been surgical and effective. US and Israeli forces have destroyed Iran's navy, anti-aircraft systems, radars, missile stockpiles, and top leadership, including Khamenei, in just over a week. Trump told reporters what's left could be taken out in an hour, and he signaled the war will end very soon once objectives are locked in. No endless occupation, no nation building. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth called recent days the most intense yet, but CENTCOM confirms Iran's military is being totally dismantled, with no ground troops committed en masse. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt emphasized victories are way beyond expectation, and prices at the pump will drop rapidly once the strait reopens fully. Polls show the divide clearly. Quinnipiac has 53% opposing the action overall, but 85% of Republicans supporting it, with only 11% against. Fox polls reflect similar partisan strength among MAGA voters. The left-leaning aggregates push majority opposition by oversampling Democrats and independents, but core conservatives back Trump, crushing a regime that's chanted "Death to America" for 40 years, armed proxies killing our troops, and raced toward nukes. Casualties are tragic. 7 confirmed US service members dead from retaliatory strikes on bases, around 140 to 150 wounded, mostly minor, many back to duty. But these heroes died preventing a far worse future. Nuclear blackmail, more proxy attacks, oil choke points weaponized forever. The economic hit is temporary pain for permanent gain. Gas averages $3.45 to $3.59 nationally, up from approximately $2.98 pre-war, with Brent crude hovering near $98 to $110 amid Hormuz disruptions. Iran mined the strait, burned ships, scared off tankers, but Trump threatened 20 times harder retaliation if they fully close it, and US forces already cleared 16 mine layers. Once Iran's threats end, flows resume, prices crash. Leavitt promised Americans will see relief fast. This isn't Halliburton profiteering, it's breaking the mullahs' grip so we control our energy destiny. Cross-aisle anti-war noise, like Joe Rogan calling it a betrayal, ignores that Trump acted after talks collapsed and Iran rejected civilian nuclear offers. Younger conservatives especially reject endless intervention, demanding restraint post-victory. Graham's style risks fracturing that, but the base is waking up. Prioritize America, secure borders, energy independence, no more blank checks for foreign lobbies. Now you see the full picture. Trump's bold strikes neutralized an existential threat without quagmire. Polls are skewed leftist spin hiding strong GOP backing. Economic pain is short-term warfare cost for long-term security. And voices like Kelly and Luna are keeping the neocon hawks in check. The regime crumbles, Iranian people resist tyranny, our military dominates, and America reclaims peace through strength. The old guard scrambles, but victory is close. Stay vigilant, America First wins. If this video opened your eyes to how President Trump is finally crushing the Iranian terror regime, without endless wars, without nation building, and with real America First strength, then hit that like button right now to stand with peace through power. Drop a comment below. Are you 100% behind Trump's decisive strikes? Or do you think the neocons like Lindsey Graham are trying to hijack the win? Be brutal and honest. Your voice matters in this fight. The fake news and leftist pollsters want to bury the truth. strong Republican support, a crumbling mullah regime, and victory in sight. Don't let them silence it. Spread the facts far and wide. And if you're not already subscribed, smash that subscribe button and turn on notifications. We're exposing the deep state, the war profiteers, and every betrayal of America first, every single day. Join the resistance. Let's keep winning for our country. Thank you for watching. Stay vigilant, stay red-pilled. God bless America.